The requirement for a disconnecting means within sight of the controller for 480 volts AC door openers and hoists in an industrial facility is rooted in safety considerations. Even with established written safety procedures and the assurance that only qualified personnel handle maintenance and supervision, the necessity for a readily accessible disconnecting means remains paramount. The core reason behind this requirement lies in the need for immediate power disconnection during emergencies. If the disconnecting means is not within sight of the controller, valuable time could be lost in locating and operating it, potentially exacerbating the situation. Imagine a scenario where a door opener malfunctions, posing a safety hazard to personnel or equipment. A nearby disconnecting means allows for a swift shutdown of the power supply, mitigating the risk of further damage or injury. Similarly, in the case of a hoist experiencing a mechanical failure or electrical fault, a readily accessible disconnect can prevent catastrophic consequences. The presence of written safety procedures and qualified personnel does not negate the need for a physical disconnect within sight. While these measures contribute to a safer working environment, they cannot entirely eliminate the possibility of unforeseen events or human error. A physical disconnect serves as a crucial backup, ensuring that power can be cut off quickly and reliably, regardless of the circumstances. The concept of within sight typically implies that the disconnecting means is visible and easily accessible from the controller's location. The specific distance may vary depending on local regulations and interpretations, but the general intent is to ensure that the disconnect can be reached without obstruction or undue delay. In some cases, the disconnecting means may be located within the same enclosure as the controller, while in other situations it may be mounted on a nearby wall or support structure. The key consideration is that it must be readily identifiable and easily operated by authorized personnel. Furthermore, the disconnecting means must be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. This helps to prevent confusion and ensures that the correct disconnect is activated in an emergency. The label should be durable and legible, even in harsh industrial environments. In addition to the disconnecting means itself, the surrounding area must be kept clear of obstructions. This includes tools, equipment, and other materials that could impede access to the disconnect. Regular inspections should be conducted to ensure that the area remains clear and that the disconnecting means is in good working order. The requirement for a disconnecting means within sight is not limited to door openers and hoists. It applies to a wide range of electrical equipment in industrial facilities, particularly those that pose a potential safety hazard. The specific requirements may vary depending on the type of equipment and the operating conditions, but the underlying principle remains the same: the need for a readily accessible means of disconnecting power in an emergency. In summary, the disconnecting means for the controllers of 480 volts AC door openers and hoists is required to be within sight of the controller, even if there are written safety procedures and conditions of maintenance and supervision ensure that only qualified persons service the equipment. This is primarily due to the need for a readily accessible means of disconnecting power in case of an emergency. The presence of written safety procedures and qualified personnel does not negate the importance of a physical disconnect within sight. It serves as a crucial backup, ensuring that power can be cut off quickly and reliably, regardless of the circumstances. The disconnecting means must be clearly labeled and the surrounding area must be kept clear of obstructions to ensure easy access. This requirement applies to a wide range of electrical equipment in industrial facilities, particularly those that pose a potential safety hazard. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed guidelines for the installation and maintenance of electrical equipment, including disconnecting means. It is essential to consult the NEC and any applicable local regulations to ensure compliance. The NEC addresses safety standards for electrical installations. It is widely adopted in the United States and serves as a benchmark for electrical safety worldwide. It is updated every 3 years to reflect advancements in technology and changes in safety practices. The NEC contains numerous articles and sections that address specific requirements for different types of electrical equipment and installations. These requirements are based on extensive research and testing, and they are designed to minimize the risk of electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. One important aspect of electrical safety is proper grounding. Grounding provides a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to trip circuit breakers and prevent electrical shock. The NEC specifies detailed requirements for grounding systems, including the size and type of grounding conductors, the methods of grounding electrodes, and the bonding of metallic enclosures. Another key element of electrical safety is overcurrent protection. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a safe level. This helps to prevent overheating and damage to electrical equipment, as well as reducing the risk of fire. The NEC specifies the types and sizes of overcurrent protection devices that are required for different types of circuits and equipment. Arc flash is a dangerous phenomenon that can occur when electrical equipment is energized. An arc flash is a sudden release of electrical energy that can cause severe burns, blindness, and even death. The NEC addresses arc flash hazards and requires employers to take steps to protect their employees from these hazards. These steps may include providing personal protective equipment, such as arc-rated clothing and face shields, and implementing safe work practices. Regular electrical inspections are essential for identifying and correcting potential safety hazards. Inspections should be performed by qualified personnel who are familiar with the NEC and other applicable standards. During an inspection, the inspector will check for things like damaged wiring, loose connections, and overloaded circuits. They will also verify that grounding systems and overcurrent protection devices are functioning properly. Maintaining accurate and up-to-date electrical documentation is crucial for safety and maintenance. This documentation should include things like electrical drawings, equipment manuals, and inspection reports. It should also include a record of any modifications or repairs that have been made to the electrical system. Proper electrical safety training is essential for all personnel who work with or around electrical equipment. Training should cover topics such as basic electrical principles, hazard recognition, safe work practices, and the use of personal protective equipment. Training should be provided by qualified instructors and should be updated regularly to reflect changes in technology and safety practices. When working on your electrical equipment, it is important to energize the equipment whenever possible. This means turning off the power at the source and verifying that the equipment is not energized before starting work. If it is not possible to energize the equipment, then appropriate precautions must be taken to protect against electrical shock and arc flash hazards. These precautions may include using insulated tools, wearing personal protective equipment, and maintaining a safe working distance from energized parts. Electrical safety is a shared responsibility. Everyone who works with or around electrical equipment has a role to play in preventing accidents and injuries. By following safe work practices, using appropriate equipment, and staying informed about electrical hazards, we can all help to create a safer working environment. Remember that electrical safety is not just a matter of following rules and regulations. It is also a matter of using common sense and being aware of the potential hazards that are present in our environment. By taking a proactive approach to electrical safety, we can help to protect ourselves and others from harm. Consider the specific case of door openers and hoists operating at 480 volts AC. These devices often involve moving parts and can pose a significant risk of injury if they malfunction. Therefore, the requirement for a disconnecting means within sight is particularly important in these applications. The disconnecting means should be readily accessible to anyone who may need to shut down the equipment in an emergency, not just qualified electricians. In addition to the disconnecting means, other safety features may be required for door openers and hoists, such as emergency stop buttons and overload protection devices. These features are designed to prevent accidents and minimize the risk of damage to equipment. Regular maintenance and inspection of door openers and hoists are also essential for safety. This includes checking for worn or damaged parts, lubricating moving parts, and verifying that all safety features are functioning properly. Any problems that are identified during maintenance or inspection should be corrected immediately. The design and installation of electrical systems for door openers and hoists should be performed by qualified personnel who are familiar with the NEC and other applicable standards. The installation should be inspected and approved by a qualified electrical inspector before the equipment is put into service. In some cases, it may be necessary to conduct a risk assessment to identify potential hazards and develop appropriate safety measures. A risk assessment is a systematic process for evaluating the likelihood and severity of potential hazards. The results of the risk assessment can be used to develop safety procedures, select appropriate personal protective equipment, and implement other risk mitigation measures. It's also beneficial to consider the specific environment in which the door opener or hoist is operating. For example, if the equipment is located in a wet or corrosive environment, additional precautions may be necessary to protect against electrical shock and corrosion. These precautions may include using waterproof enclosures, corrosion-resistant materials, and grounding systems. In summary, the requirement for a disconnecting means within sight of the controller for 480 volts AC door openers and hoists is a critical safety measure that should not be overlooked. It is essential to comply with the NEC and other applicable standards to ensure the safety of personnel and equipment. Regular maintenance, inspection, and risk assessment are also important for preventing accidents and minimizing the risk of injury. Remember, electrical safety is a shared responsibility, and everyone has a role to play in creating a safe working environment. The electrical disconnect is the very minimum safety feature required, but other safe work practices should be followed to help reduce the incident energy.